The crazy stuff keeps getting worse, people. We now have proof. Also, yes, I mean Google. Ripple was chosen for the new bank system. We have proof. You should watch this video all the way through. You already know what to do. Give it a thumbs up and join. But before we talk about anything else, I need to show you the XRP price picture again. This is how you keep your feelings in check and figure out where prices might go. You won't be scared when it happens. You're not guessing. You're telling us that RIP told us this. I'm not scared. You can say I'm not scared, since you shouldn't be. Look, your first arrow is here. We told you about the 160 area. It has been broken into. We told you that level 130 was the next one. That's it. That's the range. That is the battleground. We don't need to act like it's hard. And now check the RSI on the daily. Very much overdone. About 27 years old. That is a record low for XRP. Again, that's not a hype. That's how it works. As soon as an asset is pinned down like that, it usually goes up because the bears lose their steam, sellers get worn out. This will all be over and over again when it's over, and I promise you I'll hear something within the next month. It will feel like this never happened. One day, everything is a mess. The chart snaps back the next day, and everyone acts like nothing happened. When XRP goes back to $2 and then $3, everyone goes crazy and yells, "Holy crap, it's altcoin season. Hold on tight. Don't move. Let's start." This man is well known to everyone, the former SEC official that everyone loves. Former employee of the SEC, we'll say that, right? Mr. Brown's paper bag by himself, that means something to you. They go out and eat a nice steak. This is how they tap him under the table. When he looks under, he sees a brown paper bag full of money. This makes him say something he shouldn't have. The classic setup comes next. Fraud is being talked about. Are you seeing a lot of fraud? He then goes on to talk about how people disguise business opportunities as tokens, lying, and other bad things. Look at this guy. He's talking about scam, but he did it himself. People forget this part. Staff at the SEC told him not to go on stage and do the whole free pass dance for Ethereum. We're not going to let it off the hook. What does he do? I will do whatever it takes. It doesn't bother me. He had to do it. That's the reason he did it. Now we get to the part where it stops being interesting and starts being like, really? We are going to look at the papers and emails that show Google chose Ripple when it was still OpenCoin, and this tech was going to be used. Take XRP. Do you really believe that changed? It didn't happen, of course. It was late, people. Afternoon. This is how I'm going to say it. I've never been so sure about a coin. I don't care what the price is doing right now because everything is starting to make sense. This is why XRP has been slowed down for so long. It wasn't just happen. It wasn't the market. It was coordinated stories and coordinated pressure. It is starting to come together. Here's what we see now, and I want you to notice the frame. People say that Google would have used OpenCoin more than 10 years ago if Jeffrey Epstein and Austin Hill hadn't tried to kill off its competitors to protect Bitcoin. After that, the text is shown. They show it and say, this email proves it. Ripple was chosen by Google. Google chose XRP. They were going to use it and accept it. It gets worse after that. They connect it to the top powers from around the world, the banking leaders, the private islands, and the powers that be. This is the argument they're trying to make you believe. If Google picks Ripple or OpenCoin and starts sending money around the world with XRP, it will cause a huge shift. Google is followed by many. Once Google pulls the switch, Amazon, Alipay, big banks, and governments will all join. Bitcoin will no longer be the main topic of conversation. That's what they say. It would have caused a run on Bitcoin. Then they talk about a sender whose name was deleted, who told Epstein that Google wants to connect their digital wallets to OpenCoin so that payments can be made in Africa. After that, they show another part that talks about how Africa's internet is mostly becoming mobile, and they quote Eric Schmidt, the executive chairman of Google, as saying that the company wants to build infrastructure in Kenya and all over Africa using weather planes and Wi-Fi blimps. You already know where they're going next. Okay, so Google thought of balloons. What do we have now? SpaceX and Elon Musk anywhere in the world can get satellite service. People, this is getting worse. After that, they talk about the rest. Broadband internet for cities and low-cost connections for rural places. Google is also making moves in digital payments, as shown by Google Wallet. Then they talk about how Google Ventures invested in OpenCoin and how it is a digital ledger system that is like Bitcoin. And this is what they found. Ripple was chosen more than 10 years ago. Ripple is right about everything they've said. XRP is at the center of everything they do. They're not telling lies. Google is still on board. Everything was held up. Then they move on to politics and officials, first Jay Clayton, then Bill Hinman, and finally Gary Gensler. They say that there was planning and timing. Gensler shows up in 2018 and is linked to the Warren wing in their story. Then they link dates to Hinman's 2018 speech and the SEC's stance of being an investigator. They bring up Ripple's claim that they met with the SEC from 2014 until the case was shut down. People say Ripple didn't expect it. Then the emails with Epstein's story are used as the missing reason for why Google's rollout didn't happen. Then they make it less harsh by saying Bitcoin won't go away, and they talk about it as if it were two different assets with two different uses, a source of value and a way to convert currencies and send money across borders. Then they say they went after Ripple because they didn't want to bring down the Bitcoin Ponzi scheme. Then they bring in Austin Hill to attack Chris Larsen. An email chain from Epstein to Reid Hoffman talks about being in New York for General Assembly, Clinton, and the language used at Island Ranch. After that, David Schwartz adds the line about not being shocked if it's just the tip of a very big iceberg. They paint a picture in which Jed quits Ripple to build Stellar, and the powerful people decide that Bitcoin would lose value if Ripple and Stellar work together. This is why they try to stop it, slow it down, or even cut it short. They say they've been putting it off for almost 12 years, but the wait is over. Of course, they finished it off with a cherry. The point of these kinds of stories is to make you feel sad at the beginning and happy at the end. The chart keeps getting hit because of this. That's why the RSI is important. This is why levels are important, because as soon as you get mentally involved, you become easy to get out of. Keep your cool when XRP is oversold, stretched, or pinned down. That's not the time to think the world is ending. If it rips, that's where you want to be strict. Not sure tomorrow it's going to get bigger. In markets, this is how you stay alive. Let's be honest. There will be disagreements about the emails, how they should be interpreted, and what is suggested and what is proven. That's okay. To make money, you don't have to marry every part of the story. You can win if you have a plan, stick to your levels, handle risk well, and get to what counts first. Adoption, ways to get cash, clear rules, and the structure of the market. No matter if you like Ripple or not, you can't dismiss this. They have been building for a long time and have made all the right links. The world is moving toward better rails and faster settlement. It's not a matter of if or when the system changes. So I'm telling you, the picture can turn around faster than people think if we get a real turnaround. That same group of people who are scared at 160 will scream at $2.60 and beg for a dip that never comes. Keep your cool, keep an eye on the news, the levels, and the RSI. Don't let anyone take over your emotions. Before I end this, I want to give you something you can do. It's nice to watch movies, but having a plan is better.